P is a centroid. That's going to be our 2-to-1 ratio right here. It's going to say that BF is x squared minus 1, and it's going to say that BP is x plus 4. So we got a couple of choices here. The way I'm going to set this up is I'm going to try to make this equal to this. How do I do that? Well, there are two pieces here and one piece is here. So if I divide it by 2 and multiply it by 3, I'll get the whole thing. I need to increase it by 50% in order to make it equal to BF, which is the whole thing. I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. That'll give me 2x squared minus 2 over on this side and cancel out my denominator over on that right side. And then I'm going to distribute my 3x plus 12. From here, I'm going to get everything to that left side. 2x squared minus 3x minus 12 will be negative 14. I'm going to have to factor, so I'll have 2x and x. I need things that multiply together to be 14. I know one of them is going to be 7. Probably going to have to multiply the 7 by the 1. And the 7 needs to be negative. 2 needs to be positive. So I'll have x is equal to 7 over 2. I was going to say 3.5. And then x is equal to negative 2. I can throw out the negative 2. Can I throw out the negative 2? Don't have to. In fact, I'm going to use the negative 2. It's easier. So if x is negative 2, then PF rather, the whole thing would be 3. This would be 2. This would be 3. So that would be 1. You could also take and drop in that 7 over 2. This one really shouldn't have two answers. It just happened that they've got that x squared in there and it worked out. The other one is going to be a lot different. You'll have some monster fractions. Really, it's not that bad. You'd have 3.5, so this would be 7.5. Divide that by 2. So if you use the 7 over 2 for x, dividing 7.5 by 2, because you have 3.5 plus 4, 7.5, and this is going to be half of that. That would just be 7.5, so 3.75. You would get 3.75 down here. Because they both work, odd situation, both answers are true. Continuing on. Geometric mean, this is just 2 over x is the same as x over 8, so x squared is going to be 16, x is going to be plus or minus 4. I'm just going to list a positive value. We've got 3 and 9. That's going to give me a 27, which I can break down into 3 squared of 3. This one, 7 and 14, what is that going to be? 198? No, just 98. Ha, crazy. X squared is equal to 98, and that's going to give me 7 square roots of 2. Once I bust that out, x equals 7 square roots of 2. You get the 49 and the 2, pair of 7s. Continuing on with this, we've got A is the smallest angle, B is the middle angle, and then C is the smallest side. Now, I'm going to do something a little weird. I'm going to break this up into 2 pieces, because if you go 3 pieces, it's very hard to solve for x. And I'm going to say that this side has to be smaller than this side. So 2x plus 3 has to be smaller than 6x. And that's going to give me 4x and 3. And then, so x needs to be larger than 3 over 4. Then I'm going to take these two sides right here. 6x needs to be smaller than 5x plus 8. So x needs to be less than 8. And then I'm going to push these together. X needs to be less than 8, and x needs to be greater than 3 over 4. So my total answer right there. This one. Again, same thing. A is the smallest, C is going to be my largest, B is in the middle. This one's a lot easier to push together because you've got one variable and 2 constant values for my outside terms. Pull that 2 from both sides, and you'll find that x has to be between 8 and 16. Going on to 29, you've got congruent sides right here. They're opening up different amounts. So, of course, the one that opens up bigger, has the bigger angle that's opening, is going to be larger. So LM is going to be larger than JK. This one, you've got congruent triangles. I mean, I've got side angle side congruency. That means those side lengths will be equal. I don't know where A is. We're going to assume that it's right there. Oh, no. AB. We're going to say that A is over here. And, well, anywhere you assume that A and D are, it's going to be the same, because if you add those together, or if you get this last side, you can prove congruency. Should have had them there. Doesn't matter where they go. Still going to have congruent sides. Continuing on. Solve these proportions. Solve these proportions. I'm going to cross multiply. We'll get, let's see if I can get this tilted just a little bit. There we go. We'll get 5k minus 5 is equal to 6k minus 8. And I'm just cross multiplying, carrying out that math right now. Subtract the 5, add the 8, we'll get k is equal to 3. That's all done. This one, I'll get z squared minus 4. With that, this is going to be equal to 32. I'm just going to add the 4 to the other side and get z squared is equal to 36. It's going to give me z is equal to plus or minus 6. This last one, I'm going to take cross multiply, solve for x first, put the x back in, and then solve for y. So right here, solving for x up top, I'm going to get 9x is equal to 6x plus 15, 3x equal 15, x is equal to 5, and I'm going to use this fraction over here and say that 3 over 5, all of these are equal, is equal across there. So I have 3 times 20 is equal to 5 times 6y. I can divide a 5 out of both sides, and I can divide a 3 out of both sides, and 4 is equal to 2y. So y is equal to 2. You can also just, go 60 is equal to 30y if you wanted to be cool, and go straight to the y equal 2 from there. Anyway, continuing on, we've got the perimeter of a rectangular lawn is 192 feet. The ratio of the length to the width is 5 to 3. Find the area of the lawn. We're going to need to find the length and the width. So I'm going to say that 2 lengths plus 2 widths is equal to 192. Each length is has 5 of the pieces. Each width has 2 of the pieces. So 2 times 5 would be 10 pieces of that here. 2 times 3 would be 6 pieces of that there. That's equal to 192. So I've got 16x is equal to 192. That's going to be, man, I want to say it's 12. 16 plus 32. Yeah, it's 12. So x is going to be equal to 12. And then I can go back in and find my length and my width. So each length is 5 of these 12. So each length is going to be 60. Each width is going to be 36. And then to find the area of the lawn, I'm just going to multiply these bad boys together. And I'm going to get 2,160. Yeah. That's going to be feet squared. Continuing right along, we've got an isosceles triangle is 36. The ratio of the base to the height is 2 to 1. What's the perimeter of the triangle? So I have 2x, 2 pieces on my height, or 2 pieces length of the base. 2 pieces from my base. 2 pieces from my base. Gracious. Base times height over 2 is what I'm about to use. Base is 2, height is 1, so 2 pieces, 1 piece over 2 is equal to 36. Those are going to cancel. X squared is 36. It's going to be 6 for each one of my x's. My base has 2 of those x's, so 12. My height has 1 of those x's, so 6. To get this other side, I'm going to use my special rights, 6, 6. This will be 6 square roots of 2. That's going to be got an angle right here, 45, 45, 90. You can prove that. We'll go into that later, but it's a right triangle. It's going to follow 6, 6, 6 square roots of 2. Isosceles right triangle. Anyway, continuing on. 6 square roots of 2 right there. That's going to give me 12 square roots of 2 up top, and then 12 on the bottom. So I'll have 12 plus 12 square roots of 2 for this answer. Square inches, so it'll be inches. Continuing right along, how much time we got? We'll cut it here.